Fox 2 News at 6 starts now.
We want to welcome you to the HD show. Dave is off today. We're going to get straight to your latest headlines. We are talking day 3 with no running water for residents of Harson's Island. It's absolutely awful. A water main break has impacted the entire island. Officials say the break is under the north channel of the St. Clair River, but because of the conditions, divers are still not able to go into the water and find the exact source of the problem. Now, until the break is fixed, Harson's Island residents can pick up water at the fire department. We're also monitoring a news alert out of Northville. Police say a man was electrocuted by a live wire. This happened after 1 this afternoon on Dunlap Street. Emergency crews got a call of an unconscious roofer that allegedly touched this wire. He was taken to the hospital with severe burns. No word on his condition at this time. More difficult news to report. A 17-year-old boy rushed to the hospital after a shooting on the east side of Detroit. Police say someone just walked up to the teen last night on Cashew near 94 and shot him. At last check, the 17-year-old was in stable condition. So far, no word on arrests. 3 months in jail. That's the sentence for a woman who left her friend to die on a Southfield road last year. You may remember 23-year-old Mia Canoe fell out of a car on Providence Drive after a night of partying. 24-year-old Kentia Fern was the driver of that vehicle and just apparently kept going. Police say not only did she fail to stop, she didn't report it to the police either. Fern was given a plea deal. She will serve 3 years probation after her sentence of 3 months in jail. A semi-truck driver is behind bars after crashing into 2 state police cruisers. Some troopers were looking into a crash on 75 when this happened near the 11-mile ramp in Royal Oak when a semi apparently lost control and hit a state police SUV. There you see the wreckage. The force of that impact sent the SUV then crashing into an unoccupied squad car. The truck kept going before crashing into a vehicle involved in the original accident and came to a rest. One trooper suffered minor injuries. Thankfully, that person is expected to be okay. Several high schoolers in Detroit have been hospitalized because they ate edibles, and now the student who brought them has been kicked out. Fox 2 Scott Wolchek has the story from Crockett Midtown High School.
It happened Wednesday here at Midtown Crockett High School. A group of students took some edibles. 4 had to be taken to the hospital because of the reaction. 3 were picked up by their parents.
Here we go again. This isn't new, and this isn't one high school. You know, we're looking at this not just across the city of Detroit, but across the country.
The problem so rampant that at Detroit Public Schools, the district reported 1,735 marijuana incidents, meaning edibles, vape pens, and that was between 2021 and 2023. And that issue is common in every school district, according to Grenea Dudley. She's the president of the Youth Connection and chair of the Love Detroit Prevention Coalition.
And what we're seeing is an increase in use among our adolescents and our middle schoolers. And unfortunately, we also get reports of our elementary schools having kids that may ingest edibles.
Whether it's little kids misunderstanding and thinking they're candy, or high schoolers who are sneaking them from their parents' stash, Dudley says it's important to educate your kids and yourself on the issue.
You made the decision to be using marijuana or an edible or whatever it is, but one, if you have small children, if you have adolescents in the home, what we're asking you to do is to secure them. You know, don't leave them out for kids to get a hold of.
That's a sentiment echoed by Detroit Public Schools. It sent a statement reading, "We're asking parents to speak to their kids about the dangers of taking edibles and not eating any candy that's not provided by an adult. In addition, we're asking adults who live with school-age children to ensure that edibles are secure. Lastly, state and city governments must increase awareness campaigns about the dangers of marijuana consumption by children." The superintendent's office also said that the student who originally brought those edibles to school will not be returning. Reporting on Detroit's east side, Scott Wolchek, Fox 2 News.
A man being held at the Highland Park Jail is now facing some additional charges. Police say he assaulted an officer and then tried to escape. It happened around 10 Thursday morning. The police chief tells us the man was being transferred to another part of the facility when he apparently overpowered that officer and then locked himself in a closet. He never actually got out of the building and was taken back into custody with the help of a taser.
It's scary. I mean, I'm ultimately worried for the officer. I'm worried for the public. I'm worried for the responding officers. I want to make sure everyone's okay, but given the circumstances, the officers responded as they should have, and there was no danger to the public, so it turned out as good as it could have.
And that inmate was checked out and is being held while prosecutors look to upgrade his charges. The officer was taken to the hospital just as a precaution, but he's expected to be fine. The city of Detroit is giving us a really important update on its opioid quick response team. This group has been up and running for about 3 months now, and this week members went around making some house calls, checking in on the patients they've been working with. That includes a woman who was struggling with a heroin addiction, which she at that time used to soothe chronic pain.
I have emphysema in my legs and stuff, and they swells up and whatever. Then I have a heart condition and kidney failure, but they have come over regularly and checked on me and trying to, help me to not use anymore, and that's my main goal.
And apparently they're seeing some tremendous success. The team says so far they've connected around 50 people with resources to help them with their addictions. If you or someone you know could use a visit from the quick response team, we have a link on our website. That's fox2detroit.com. We're getting some new details about the suspected shooter in CEO Brian Thompson's murder in New York City. A San Francisco investigator says he recognized a 26-year-old suspect from a missing persons bulletin and told the FBI days before his arrest. Luigi Mangione's mother reported him missing last month and says she hasn't spoken to him since July. As investigators search for a motive, United Health Group has now confirmed Mangione was never actually insured by that company. He was captured in Pennsylvania earlier this week and is expected to be extradited to New York to face a murder charge. A federal appeals court has denied TikTok's request to stop enforcing a law that requires it to be sold. The move puts TikTok one step closer to a potential ban in the United States. More than 170 million American users would be affected by this. The app is owned by Chinese company ByteDance and has been under fire over national security concerns. TikTok is expected to appeal to the Supreme Court. We're going to get a check of weather now. Certainly nippy out there after having relatively mild temperatures, but we kind of saw a slight move towards the positive, right, Stephanie?
I think so, yeah. So today I think felt a little bit better than yesterday. We were seasonal today. We topped out at 37. That's the average for this time of year. Felt almost balmy compared to yesterday or even the day before that. Lows bottomed out in the mid-teens, so that's colder than the average. But I think our numbers moving forward are going to be well above average in terms of overnight lows, but also in terms of daytime highs too. Temperatures right now mainly in the lower 30s. We are looking at a little bit of ice accumulating west of us. This is actually out near Iowa with our next approaching system. And you can see those pinks. It's kind of just more so of a wintry mess. From Iowa extending into Wisconsin, more so rain closer to the Chicagoland area, but they do have winter weather advisories for almost the entire state of Wisconsin right now, Minnesota, and into parts of Iowa. We also have a winter weather advisory for counties further west of the city, including parts of Washtenaw County, Livingston County too, included in that, and then up near Flint. So areas again near central and western parts of the state. We could be tracking out the potential for some freezing drizzle just after midnight tonight. 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, you start to see more of that winter-like precip closer to Saginaw. Some of this could potentially be a light wintry mix. So I think between the hours of 2 to possibly around 5 o'clock in the mornings when we see that potential for some ice accumulation, a light glaze again for communities west of the city, then more so rain taking us through the remainder of the day tomorrow. Temperatures tonight will fall into the 30s. We'll see the potential for some freezing drizzle. Temps will be in the low 30s, 43 degrees tomorrow with more so showers during the day. Rain will be around pretty much at any time. So if you have plans to head out to maybe tailgate tomorrow, just know could be a tad soggy. We'll continue to see that chance of rain late Monday into early Tuesday. And these are some of our totals, some hefty totals, anywhere between a half an inch to, in some cases, an inch. Temperatures will be in the 50s as we look towards Tuesday. And then by the end of next week, we're back to the 30s. Hilary.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. Well, it was certainly chilly out there, but that didn't stop people from enjoying a holiday run. That's also helping the community. More than 1,000 people turned out for this year's Santa 5K hustle at Stony Creek, and Fox 2's Scott Wolchek was there.
I'm ready to catch some candy canes and some some paces.
And so are hundreds of other runners decked out in red and green spirited outfits, all for a festive 5K. Look, even the kids have Santa beard.
Get ready to ho-ho hustle because it's the Santa hustle. Ho, ho, ho!
I'm feeling amazing. It's brisk out. It's -10, but I feel incredible. The adrenaline is rushing.
And so are the runners. This is the first time the Santa Hustle has come to Metro Detroit. Stony Creek Metro Park filled with running elves and Santas. Everybody gifted hats and themed shirts, and you can even earn a holiday medal.
For us, races are about the swag.
And instead of ordinary water stations, how about cookies and candy?
Thank you. You're welcome. It's incredible, you know. I mean, we have almost 20,000 people across the country that do Santa Hustle each year.
A portion of the proceeds will go to the Metro Parks and Me program, which provides services like teaching kids how to swim.
I love seeing families together, friends together. People have coordinated their outfits. They are here for the event.
And that's despite the frosty weather.
It is very cold.
But it's not raining and it looks like sun.
Yeah,
so those totally change the race.
Some runners like Brittany traveling far. She's from Canada and brought her mom.
She even put on the sparkly freckles.
Yeah. One of the things I have to ask, since you're Canadian, is this cold for you?
No, I also cold plunge, so this is not cold. I was swimming in 0-degree weather last week.
Now she's running for a cause with the claws.
Ho, ho, ho!
In Shelby Township, Scott Walczak, Fox 2 News.
During this difficult time of the year, people are in need. And so we got hats, gloves, gift cards, toys, an abundance of resources for our families. And guess what? They're appreciative of these efforts.
The Southfield Police Department held its 5th annual Holiday Sleigh of Giving event. It kicked off this afternoon at the Southfield Public Library. Police officers dressed as Santa, Mrs. Claus, Rudolph, and cheerful elves. Even Chief Barron there getting in on the fun. The gift giveaway is meant to spread holiday cheer and provide gifts for families who need it.
Just kind of be the hands and feet of God in the earth as we make sure all of Detroiters and Metro Detroiters are kept warm and kept fed.
And of course, you heard Stephanie talk about the forecast, and you know it's cold out there, so it might be difficult for some families in Metro Detroit to stay warm. Today, Second Ebenezer Church held their 10th coat and bicycle distribution event as part of the Hope in the City initiative. The church distributed 700 coats and 150 bicycles to families, helping to spread a little holiday cheer. Well, seeing family and friends over the holidays can be fulfilling and fun, but also a little bit draining, let's be honest. Fox's Christina Coleman spoke with experts on how you can keep your social battery charged over these next couple of weeks.
The holiday season is a time to eat, drink, and be merry with friends and family, but for some, those social gatherings can bring more stress than joy.
It's really important for us to pay attention to our social battery. This can be a time of hyper connectivity where you are connecting with lots of different people that you might not see throughout the year.
Mental health experts say it's important to know your limits. Not everyone operates at the same speed, and you don't need to be on all the time. You shouldn't feel embarrassed to take a break and recharge.
And make sure that you are giving yourself permission, giving yourself grace and understanding, and knowing when you do need time to yourself to step away.
With strangers, kindness is key. You don't know what everyone else is going through. Focus on making the most of your time spent with loved ones rather than trying to pack your social calendar.
Expressing that gratitude, expressing the importance of them in your life. It's not always the quantity of the interactions, but the quality that will help us mentally, socially, and physically, actually.
The holidays can also bring about feelings of isolation, even if you're surrounded by others. Those emotions are more common than you might think.
If you are feeling lonely right now, you are not alone. About 50% of U.S. Adults feel loneliness throughout the year.
Mental health experts also recommend stepping away to take a little walk outside or just rest if you're feeling overwhelmed. They say it's important to remember that prioritizing your mental health can be your gift to yourself. Christina Coleman, Fox News.
Well, all some very good ideas. You know what else is a good idea? Join us tonight at 10. We should be close to on time. We look forward to seeing you then. Until that time, have a great rest of your evening.